In 1976, in the quiet Mexican town of Tapachula, a man named Juan Pedro Alvarado said goodbye to his wife and 2 daughters. He was headed to the local market to buy some farming supplies. He told his wife he'd be back in an hour. He never returned. No wreckage, no body, no sightings. One moment he was there, and the next he was gone. Just like that. At first, people assumed the worst. Maybe a robbery gone wrong. Others whispered darker theories. Maybe he had a secret life or a hidden enemy. But his wife, Rosa, never believed any of it. He was a good man, she said. He loved his daughters. He would never just leave us. Weeks turned into months, months into years. Eventually, even Rosa stopped searching, but she never stopped waiting. And then, 30 years later, there was a knock at her door. An old man stood outside, thin, weathered, eyes sunken. "I'm home," he said. Rosa stared at him in disbelief. He looked like Juan. He had Juan's voice, Juan's birthmark, Juan's scar from a childhood accident. But he also had gaps. He didn't remember their wedding day. He didn't recognize their eldest daughter, who was now in her 40s. He didn't remember the name of his favorite dog or how he lost his tooth in a farming accident. Still, DNA tests were expensive. And deep down, Rosa wanted to believe. So she let him in. For a while, things were okay. He helped around the house, told stories about waking up in Guatemala with no memory of who he was. He claimed he'd worked odd jobs, construction, farm labor, even in the military. He said he wandered for years, trying to find his way back. But little things didn't add up. He used words that weren't common in their region. He held his fork differently. He had a slight accent no one could place. One day, Rosa's youngest daughter, now a grown woman, asked him, "What's my middle name?" He stared at her blankly. Then he said the name of her cousin. That night, they called the police. They ran fingerprints, compared old photographs. The resemblance was striking, but not conclusive. Finally, a specialist was brought in from Mexico City. They ran a biometric analysis. The results, inconclusive. He could be Juan, or he could just be someone who looked a lot like him. So who was this man? Some thought he had suffered a rare psychological condition called dissociative fugue, where a person loses all memory of their identity and starts a new life. Others believed he was an imposter, an old drifter who somehow knew enough details to fake his way into the Alvarado family. Then there were the truly strange theories that the real Juan had died, and something else had come back in his place. In the final years of his life, the man lived quietly in the family's home. He never fully reconnected with his wife or daughters. But he never asked for money, never tried to change the will, never caused harm. When he died in 2012, they buried him under the name Juan Pedro Alvarado. But to this day, the town remains divided. Some believe the prodigal father truly returned. Others are convinced the real Juan never made it back, and that the man they buried was a stranger. No fingerprints, no confession, just a lingering question that haunts Tapachula to this day. What if the man who came home wasn't the man who left?